format has changed. I'll most likely stick with this, but who knows? We've got 3 cards here for general, 3 cards here for love, 2 cards for overall outcome, and I will clarify with the Smith Centennial Mini. I also have 2 oracle decks that I'll pull from, one love, one general. All right, to the cards. All right, for the general, we have the 3 of Pentacles, the Queen of Rods, and the World. With the 3 of Pentacles and the Queen of Rods, you know, I get a work focus here. I get a business-minded month. 3 of Pentacles is working hard. You know, this guy here is clearly at work, focusing on his craft, and it's possible that you are doing some form of apprenticeship or learning a new trade or skill that could be a focus for you. It's like building out your resume, building out your knowledge. That could be a focus for January. Or this is simply being hard at work or concentrating on work for the month. With the Queen of Rods, the reason I get work with her at times, she's a very ambitious queen. She is focused on action and doing and following a Pentacles card. I feel like your focus, again, could be on your skills, a trade, or just really concentrating hard on creating something, building something that you want to focus on. It could be something that obviously there's money involved. It could be a hobby, but it is some sort of skill, and I think it's something that you definitely enjoy. Queen of Queen of Rods. I need to edit that out, but I'm not going to. Queen of Rods is, she's a leader. She can be a manager. And in those type of positions, because as I said, you know, she is not the one to sit back and wait for something to come to her. She likes seeing what she can do to further progress her situation. So I feel like that may be your focus. With the World here, I think that reemphasizes this, because the World is my transition card from one stage to another. So it's this elevation again of a skill, or being recognized as well can be coming up. Someone's recognizing your abilities possibly to manage or lead a team with the 3 of Pentacles. This might be a small team, but still it's the ability here to be at the head of a group. Project management is coming up. And this feels like it's something that's new with the World. So you might not have been in this position before, but you're being put into it now because people recognize your ability, and it's a transition, as I said, into a leadership role. Now, aside from actually having other people recognize that in you, if you like own your own business or your focus is on, you know, a skill or something, but it's more like a hobby, or you work at home, for instance, very similar story. Other people, you know, on the internet, if you display your work there, or if you go to any exhibitions, or you put your work out there in some way, shape, or form, they're, again, recognizing your skill. I do see the Queen of Rods as creative. Possibly not as creative as the Queen of Cups. She's my artistic queen, but I see her as creative just the same. And again, this ability to make and promote and just be incredibly focused, and there's a lot of drive with this Queen of Rods. So you might even be getting the attention from the world on social media, or just people all over the world are recognizing what you have to offer, and they're very interested. For a small group of you, this can be someone that you're working with, thinking of partnering with in a form of a team, and maybe you and this person are putting yourselves out there. I do feel like the focus, again, is definitely on work, or just you're focused on making something or doing something for the sake of, you know, really getting it out there. Maybe you're in an entrepreneur vibe as well this month or for the year, and you do end up taking off quite a bit, because I feel tension with the World. We'll see what the clarifiers say. All right, love. We have the Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and the 7 of Wands. Not my most lovey-dovey cards, obviously. If you're in a relationship, you and your partner can be discussing finances or money here with the Page of Pentacles. Maybe the focus is on buying something of value. It might not be like overly expensive, but regardless, there's discussions around it. Could be around a child as well, or education. Page of Pentacles is my education card, so education for a child, or even for one of you or both of you. But there's definite discussions happening about it, maybe even clearing the air in regards to finances, study, or just money towards study. With the Seven of Wands, you've got perseverance here and some form of success. So it could be that you are looking to have your way in a situation, and the communication that you have with your partner turns out in your favor. That's how I see this trio. If you're not in a relationship, could there be a potential partner? Yes, but I feel like the very early stages, at the point where you don't necessarily see them as a potential partner, because I see two communication cards. This could represent communicating with them from work. It could be a coworker or just someone in your work environment, which would be a coworker that you meet and speak with. Maybe there's an attraction there, but I don't really have attraction romantic cards. But I do have communication cards for you, so you might just be putting yourself out there and communicating with people and getting to know people, especially with the Page, because the Page of Pentacles as a messenger is more of substance than like the Page of Swords and even the Page of Wands. There's substance there. There's like communication again that leads to getting to know someone with this combination, this duo here. Ace of Swords is clear communication. So you could just be doing a lot of internet chit chat with various people, or one person in particular hasn't quite reached the level of a relationship, but as I said, you're talking. With the Seven of Wands, I get this vibe of trying to connect, not necessarily being incredibly successful, and you are communicating with people because you have two communication cards, but I think that you're just going along with it and trying to connect. You might be batting down a couple of options that aren't of major interest to you with the Seven of Wands. All right, outcome cards are interesting. So we got the Six of Cups, my card of reunions, past. This is nice energy just in general on its own. It's very young, so it's feeling young and refreshed in a way. It's followed by death. So, sorry for the long pause. I'm not saying that, a reunion is necessarily over. It could be the case, if you've been communicating with someone from the past or dealing a lot with a past situation, that could essentially be over. But I feel like instead, the way I'm reading this as an outcome is more broader sense, where even the year before that, whatever, there's an energy of the past that you don't want to relive. And that's not necessarily relating to love, but in general, it can be like your own behavior, the things that you choose or have chosen to do over the past few months. There's an element of not wanting to go back to situations, and it feels plural. So there's a lot of things that you don't want to revisit. You kind of like just looking forward to doing a blank slate for the new year, which I'm sure a lot of us tend to get into the moment January 1st hits and people have their resolutions. I don't do resolutions myself, but you might find yourself doing that. Or as I said, again, it's trying to cut away from how the past was for you. And when I say past, I mean like days, weeks, months, not like 10 years ago. All right, so let me get my little clarifiers here. All right, let's guide me to one for the world. Today, please. Jesus. All right. Oh, I didn't ask for two, but fine. And if you're new, you are going to see me straighten up reverse cards because it's my preference, and that's how I will continue to do it. I may or may not read them as they were, as if they were reversals. I just go with what I see and feel based on the cards surrounding. Let me get one for the Queen of Rods. Okay. One for the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. I feel like those are a duo. Ew. Okay. Let's get one for one more. Ugh. I don't know what these are for, but I'll just put those to the side. All right, and let's get one for Death. Okay. I like that. All right. Some positivity. All right, so with the Queen of Rods, we have the Two of Wands, and I feel like it's very possible that you're taking out the energy of the Queen of Wands. This can definitely represent someone that you're involved with to an extent, most likely work related. And but I think it's you actively making the choice to go in a direction and to focus on something, because you're doing that here. And again, you're looking at elevating some form of skill there and transitioning. So you've chosen a path, you're very clear about it, and you're taking action with the Queen of Wands because she doesn't sit still. You could also be choosing to work with this person as well. I will say that because I just felt that after the fact. All right, so Four of Cups for the World. Six of Wands and Death. I feel like, and I see Death here, so an ending of sorts is a big thing in January. I feel like you're choosing this ending, though. It's not something that smacks you in the face, or maybe that was a long time coming and either you did or didn't see it. I feel like you're clearly making the choice to move forward by ending a situation that does not satisfy you with the Four of Cups, because you need something new in the world and you're ready to start a new stage. That is the vibe I got with this combination, where it's like saying goodbye to maybe past actions, past behaviors or trends, and trying to incorporate some sort of new energy for yourself. That is what I'm seeing with that trio there. Now I'm going to move to the darkness here. With the Seven of Wands, I don't think it's that dark, because Seven of Wands represents an energy of persevering. You're fighting other people, you're standing your ground, you're possibly needing to be defensive, but you're successful in doing so. This dude is capable. It's like seven wands, or sorry, 6 wands, whatever. I can do it. The 10 of Swords and the 7 of Cups could be what you're up against. This could be mental energy that you have been confused, you've been uncertain, and maybe there's a lot of decisions to make, none of which you know which is the clear direction to take, or you felt that way in the past, because I think in this card you clearly know a direction. This could be, this could be related to love. This is love focused. You've been hurt in the past, sure, you've experienced pain. You might still be struggling against 10 of Swords, because this is a type of pain that hurts and persists for some time. You're confused as to how to do so, but you're persevering nonetheless. So I just think that's what you're battling up against, this energy, and defeating it in a way. If you're in a relationship, you might have had some incident of betrayal, or just a major problem that led to this form of defeat, and you're still conquering it between you and your partner. That's a possibility for some. If you're single, either in the past, in a previous relationship, you've experienced this sort of pain, or you're confused at not having any solid options, to the point where it really makes you feel rock bottom. You're like, Jesus Christ, it's been months here and I can't find anything decent, and that depresses you in some way and you're struggling against that. But I think you will clearly persevere regardless. Page of Pentacles and Ace of Swords. For those in a relationship, it's possible that you're discussing a situation where travel is concerned, moving is concerned, whether it's to a new place together or just a trip, as I said, in general. That could be what you guys are discussing. And then for others who are single, a lot of the communication that you're happening, I feel like it's happening with people that are at a distance or overseas, different states, that in order to actually physically see them, you would have to travel to do so at a long distance. This is my long distance card. All right. I like this for death. Justice and the Star. With the ending, you've made a clear decision in justice. You know, bam, this is what's happening. I do not question it. This is the right call. You feel that. So I think this is a good death for you, a good final decision for you that leads you to some hope and healing and positivity. And you see, it's like you see a bigger picture after the fact, possibly for the new year. You have high hopes for where things will be headed. All right, so I like that. All right, so now we're going to do one oracle for love. And do you want this card? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot my little turnovers there. And interesting, it fell on them. Okay, toxic. I think this might relate. Well, this could relate to single and non-singles in a relationship. There could be something underlying in your relationship that is a problem and you and the person are not getting to the bottom of it. Something to think about, something to attempt to do. You know, if that's the case for you. If you're single, maybe this is emphasizing maybe you have a tendency to go for people that raise a couple of those red flags, and this is a bit of a warning for you. That's the most I could look at this card. Oh, I like that I followed up with another one. I think you might have a tendency to do that, to get involved in things that you would consider toxic, but I do feel like this is about a new year for you and you're taking it seriously. You got a new chapter afterwards. So with the ace here, there is some form of new start incoming. In a relationship, I would point to new ways of communicating with your partner. Not in a relationship, you're talking to someone and it might turn out to be an interesting, valid connection for months to come. So, okay, so for the two cards that fell out, we got the 10 of Wands and the 8 of Cups. You know, okay, I don't mind this. On their own, I don't like them. This dude's walking away from something that was an emotional burden. I believe it's as simple as that. You're choosing to walk away from a situation that's most likely toxic or was toxic, and stepping away from that because it's a burden. And this doesn't necessarily have to represent a relationship that's a burden, but perhaps again there have been ways that you think or things that you do that are a burden to yourself. Maybe people as well, friends or so-called friends that are emotional vampires and burdens. The word burden, just I want to say it over and over again. And you're choosing to leave any situation that is way more work than it deserves to be, and focused again on starting new with people you want to be around, energy that you want to be manifest, and things like that. I feel like you're going to take the new year seriously into just starting fresh in this brand new slate, which I hope is the case for you. Oh, one more before I forget. All right, so let me get one from these. If I can. They're like glue, these cards. I got this for another sign. Blessed. So this is going to feel like a great start to the new year. It might be a little bit iffy at the very beginning, let's say the first week, but I think by the middle of it, towards the end, you're going to start seeing a new path for yourself, and you're going to feel, again, re-energized and essentially blessed. So much luck to you for the new year. Thank you for watching.